Question for you. Should we have a universal basic income? UBI is a program where citizens receive a set amount of money on a regular basis, regardless of employment status or any other factors. It's a topic that's sparked debate worldwide, with discussions ranging from economic feasibility to moral and ethical implications. Hey philosophers, I'm Jonas, and this is Philosophy Friday, a place where everyone is welcome, universally. Don't forget to check out the question for next time so you can be part of the conversation. Today's question: should we have a universal basic income? The basic idea is this: everyone, universally, gets a check from the government. The amount people will receive could be anything, but should be big enough to make a difference, maybe $1,000 a month, but could be much more. The concept promises financial security for all, but is it too good to be true? Let's explore the potential benefits and drawbacks of implementing UBI. UBI could reduce poverty and provide a safety net for those in need, fostering creativity and innovation by giving people the freedom to pursue passions without the stress of financial instability. However, critics argue it might discourage work and be financially unsustainable for governments. One common criticism is that the money would just encourage drug addicts and alcoholics to spend all their money on drugs or booze. But there the data don't play out. There have been a number of studies where they have tried UBI, and so-called temptation goods were not usually what the money was used for. Probably the most common criticism is how a universal basic income would be paid for. Taxes aren't really popular. Also, whether or not people would choose to work. There, I think we need a little bit more nuance. Many people in studies continue to work, but move to more rewarding careers. For some, the money enabled them to stay home with their families, and maybe surprisingly, there were a lot of people who were able to get a job who were unemployed because of UBI. If you think this discussion has universal appeal, why not subscribe? We have discussions like this almost every week. Let's see what our community has to say. Josh R. says, I'm a big fan of the idea of living in a society with a UBI that meets all basic needs for a person or family, enough to provide a very basic space to live, as well as food, water, and healthcare, and a bit extra for comfort. Like setting a baseline for society that at least everyone will have those basic things. Then, with a security, people would be able to do what they want in life. If that's being a musician, working a lot to be able to buy really nice things, not doing anything really and just existing. I don't think it would really work in the materialistic society we have, though. But we have the resources in America, and really the whole world, to do something like that. We're just held back as a society by greed. I think something like UBI is inevitable once technology is at a point where most work is done by machines. But I also think, due to how humans are, it's going to be another really rough transition, like the Industrial Revolution. Russ R. says, I think greed will make it never happen. We see the ultra-rich that have no desire to part with a penny and don't really care about others as long as they are enjoying their lives. Of course, there are ultra-rich that do, but it seems the majority just want more and do not want changes that would reduce what they get. UBI would require society as a whole to value each person, but that seems a long stretch in today's current climate. Cindy Baldwin Books writes, I like some things about UBI, but I'm concerned that without significant policy changes in the U.S., it would simply increase inflation and income inequality. Wealthy people would be able to use it for indulgences, driving the price of things like housing even higher, making it so the stipend didn't go as far as low-income recipients needed. However, I do think some forms of UBI, such as child stipends, can help decrease poverty without increasing inflation as much. And finally, Jared Ray writes, I don't necessarily think there should be a basic income redistribution, but I do believe that people with higher incomes should be taxed more to provide socialist programs like free healthcare, access to basic necessities, food, housing, etc. Thank you so much for your comments. Philosophy Friday needs commenters like you to continue to thrive. So what do I think? There have been a lot of really great ideas in the comments. UBI could revolutionize how we think about work and wealth distribution, but the practical challenges are enormous. It's a bold idea, but like all bold ideas, it demands a careful approach and balanced debate. I personally think that at some point there will be so much automation that there aren't enough jobs for people, and they will be unable to support themselves. So either we're going to have two classes, ultra rich, super poor, something that kind of already looks like it's happening, or we're going to have to lift everyone up. Personally, I think we could use a bit more equality. Thanks for watching and keep questioning. So what do you think? Should we have a universal basic income? Comment below with your thoughts. And if you like this video, then join our conversation for next week about whether we choose our beliefs. On screen now. It's people like you who make these videos possible, and the best way to keep the community going is by joining in the comments.